Welcome back to another episode of the Wilderness Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Rob Minturn, owner and founder of the Wilderness Fitness Institute. Tonight, we're going to be talking about benefits of foam rolling and how to actually use foam rolling. And let's just dive right on in. As far as the Spicy Saturday, I've gotten some feedback on that. And I'm not going to be going over the workout. It sounds like it kind of has people drop off with the podcast. So I'm not going to be going over the workout anymore. In the future, the Spicy Saturday workout is going to be posted. There will be an explanation with it. And then we're also going to get videos with the Spicy Saturday workout movements. So that's going to be much further down the road, as there are a ton of movements with CrossFit. And so we want to make sure that we deliver that in a solid fashion to you guys, but the explanations will be coming out sooner rather than later. With that, the newsletter, it's now April. The newsletter is going to be changing. I'm changing hosts with that, and I'm going to get one more sent out with the old host before I change over. So if you guys are not on the newsletter, go ahead and head to the link in the bio and get signed up for that newsletter. It just goes out once a month, maybe twice a month tops, but usually it's just once a month with some podcast explanations and some extra benefit, some extra value add on that I don't post on social media. So benefits of foam rolling. So there aren't a ton. So I'm going to go over the ways that folks usually use foam rolling, and then I'm going to talk about why or why not it should be used in that fashion. So as far as working out, folks typically use a foam roller as a way to warm up. And my rebuttal to that is, if you're using a foam roller to warm up, what is the point of your warm-up? The point of a warm-up should really be to increase the tissue temperature, to increase the tissue elasticity, to increase the blood flow, the foam roller, and increase your heart rate with the warm-up. The foam roller, it may increase blood flow a little bit via just like smashing the tissue that you're foam rolling, but it really does not increase tissue temperature. It definitely is not going to increase heart rate, and unless you have a very painful foam rolling experience, but even then, it's still not increasing your heart rate that much. And it's not going to increase tissue elasticity. So as far as using it as a warm-up, it's really not beneficial, and it does not reduce risk of injury when you're using it as a way to warm up. To truly warm up your body, you need to dynamically load your body. So you're doing butt kicks, you're doing the treadmill, you're doing the rowing machine, you're doing things that are making you sweat. That's what's going to increase the tissue temperature. That's what's going to increase the body temperature, or the tissue elasticity from the inside out. And you can't really warm up the body from the outside in. And the modality that's being applied from the outside in, like a foam roller, it's not truly going to enhance the body temperature to actually warm you up. Foam rolling is a very static warm-up. Again, meaning there's not a whole lot of motion to it, unless you're just, with the exception of you just rolling back and forth. So again, it's not really increasing heart rate. It's not really increasing tissue temperature. It's not increasing tissue elasticity. It's not doing a whole heck of a lot for you. So you definitely, it's not something that I suggest folks use to warm up at all. Despite fitness influencers on social media that look a lot better than I do, a lot sexier than I do, despite them saying that it's beneficial warm up, it's freaking not. There's no science behind it. Another way that I see foam rollers being used is improving the muscle flexibility and mobility. That kind of gets lumped in the same in term, like with fitness influencers and all that. And it does not. There's really two ways to really improve the muscle's flexibility, and that's through eccentric loading, so the muscles being elongated, and then the muscles being loaded with weight as you're elongating it. It could be bands, it could be body weight depending on the movement, it could be weights. It just depends on what you're doing, but it's loading the muscle while it's elongating. That is truly going to increase the muscle fiber length, and it's going to increase the number of muscle fibers, and that's how you get the tissue to get actually longer. The other way is low load prolonged stretching. What that is you're getting in a stretch position, a mild to moderate stretch, and then you're holding that stretch position for at least a minute up to 2 minutes. That is the second way, and that is the only other way to increase the number of muscle fibers and also increase the length of those fibers. Foam rolling does not do either one of those. So if someone is telling you that you should foam roll to increase your truly improve your muscle flexibility, they are wrong. And there's no science behind the foam roller actually improving any of that. All right, again, eccentrics and low load prolonged stretching are the only two ways to do that. Pain relief. So there is a bit of pain relief with foam rolling. If you've got an IT band issue and you foam roll on the IT band, you do that as a way to warm up or a way to reduce some of the pain before you go for a run. It will do that via neurological input. If you are dealing with a tendonitis issue, what you're doing with a foam roller is you are smashing an already pissed off tendon or an already pissed off tissue, right? It's like you make your mom mad, you make your parents mad, whoever, like someone that you look up to, you make them mad, and you don't give them time to cool down, and then you go up and just like take something hot or take something, like put your hand on them and just push them and continually to push them and push them and push them. Eventually they're going to turn on and bark at you, right? So it's the same thing with your tissues and your tendons. If they're already aggravated from a workout or aggravated from not getting adequate sleep or you're not recovering properly, and then you take a foam roller and smash it, yes, for the short term, you're going to get a pain reduction effect from that foam roller, again, via that neurological input, because you're overstimulating the nerves in that area. So you're overstimulating the nerves in the area, so your brain's going to tell it to chill out. But you're not actually helping that tendon go through the stages of healing. There are 3 stages of healing. The first one's the inflammatory phase. That usually lasts anywhere from like 3 to 10 days. And then the proliferative phase, the names don't matter, but the proliferative phase is usually when things start to feel better, and that's when people re-injure or re-aggravate their tendonitis, because things feel better, they're like, oh, I'm good to go, and then they start to do their normal exercise routine again, and then they piss it off, and then they go back to the inflammatory phase, and they just continue in that rat wheel, right? So that's why they continue to use a foam roller, because they continue to re-aggravate the tendon. Stop using the damn foam roller as a way to give yourself pain relief and as a way to stretch out a pissed off IT band or a pissed off shoulder or whatever you're trying to stretch out. It's not going to work. You're aggravating an already aggravated tendon. Leave it alone. Don't stretch it. Don't use a foam roller on that. I will have more on that on how to deal with tendonitis in a later podcast. But don't use a foam roller on it, especially if it's a lower leg injury. So some ways to actually use the foam roller. So way that I use it in the clinic, and I have folks do it in performance as well. It's not just a physical therapy type of exercise. It's very beneficial to do before your workouts, after your workouts, however you want to incorporate it. But it's a very good way to address core strengthening issues, especially like dead bug exercises. People will look at that stuff, and I'll have them do it in the clinic, and they're like, it's just a therapy movement, right? But then I add the foam roller component to it, like, oh, okay, and then they can see how it transitions over from the therapy clinic to the gym, because it adds an unstable balance or an unstable surface to the movement. It adds a smaller surface area of support to the movement, so it makes it more challenging. So it's more demand on the core, it's more coordination, it's more thought process going into it, so it improves neuromuscular control. So that's a solid core strengthening exercise that you can incorporate the foam roller with. You can also use a half foam roller if you don't have access to a foam roller, or if using a full foam roller is too difficult for that exercise for you. You can go to a half foam roller. Again, that's not going to be as unsteady as a normal foam roller, but it's going to be a bump up from doing it on a flat floor or a yoga mat or whatever you're doing it on. Okay. The other way that I use the foam roller is to truly enhance the spine mobility. So what I'll do is I'll have folks lie on the foam roller lengthwise. So I'll have them get the 3-foot foam roller, and then I'll have it start at their head, and I'll get a pillow underneath their head so their head's not cocked back, but I'll get it up behind their head. Their head will be resting on the top of it, and it goes all the way down to their tailbone. And I'll have them get into a neutral spine position, so the small of their back is flat against the foam roller, and then I'll have them do various arm movements, leg movements, rotational stuff, overhead stuff, so that way they're getting that spine to move a little bit better, because the foam roller is providing input to that spine as they're rotating, as they're extending up and down. So it's getting those spine segments to move a little bit better. I'm not going to kid them and tell them that you can feel the difference as far as like if I felt their spine move, I'm going to be able to feel a difference. Like we were talking millimeters here as far as movement goes. So I'm not going to bullshit someone and tell them that, yeah, your spine's moving better after doing that one exercise. Like that's not the case either. Okay. But it is a way to address spine mobility. It's another solid way that I have folks use a foam roller to address spine mobility in the clinic. All right. So in conclusion, stop using the foam roller to warm up before exercises or even cool down after a workout. It's not something that should be really used to improve your muscle flexibility, your muscle mobility. It really does not do that. There's no science behind that to my knowledge. And then as far as pain relief goes, it's not really something that's going to provide long-term pain relief. Yes, it feels good, or it might be that hurts so good right away, but you're not actually helping that tissue, whatever it is, you're not helping that tissue through the inflammatory process to get to the other side, get to that maturation phase of the inflammatory process to where the tissue can now handle a normal load. All right. If you're going to use a foam roller, use it to progress your core strengthening exercises. Use it to address your spine mobility. Use it in those two ways. Use it in both ways, and you're going to see a little more core strength improvement. You're going to see that spine move, or you're going to feel your spine move a little bit better, and you might actually feel your back pain start to go away if you start to use it in those two fashions as well. So, all right, guys. Hopefully you found this useful. Probably not what you were expecting to hear, but hopefully you found this useful, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.